Hey, we're back here with the HBCU Stroll with Johnnie Cole. I've been on a vacation and hiatus from the screen a little bit, and but I'm back today. I'm back today with a special guest. Uh, just want to talk a little bit about the weekend. You had the playoffs, and my Cincinnati Bengals uh, won big in a tough one over the Baltimore Ravens. Uh, thank God to great defense. But like I said, we got a great show today. One of the things about the next guest I'm bringing up, a lot of people have compared our careers, but I'm older, and but he's a champion, uh, HBCU national champion. He's been on another national championship team. He's a North Carolina Central University graduate. He's coached with the likes of Rod Broadway and some of the best coaches around. And today I'm gonna have him on, and we're gonna really get to know everything about head coach Trei Oliver. Hey, coach, how you doing?
I'm well, Coach. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm great, man. I had a good weekend, of course. Had a great year, and starting off the new year, I got a secret I'm gonna tell my audience, but it'll be down the line. But the biggest thing is it's your day, coach. I had the opportunity to come and see that game, and man, it was special. Uh, like I asked you in the press conference after the game, your look on that on the field was just a look of, hey, kick the ball off. We ready. We got this, you know. But coach, how you been doing? We'll get off into the game, man. I'm so proud of you that the things that you accomplish and have accomplished in your past and now in your future.
Man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's a great weekend, MLK Day. We got our team out here doing some community service projects, feeding the homeless and the hungry. So, we're trying to give back to the community, man. And they've done so much for the university. So we trying to, give back to the community. So it's good to see our young men out here, sacrifice and donating their time.
Well, it's good to hear that. You know, I see you got the humanitarian award as well. So can you leave just one trophy for somebody else can accomplish this year? You don't won a championship. Now you're feeding the hungry. It's your alma mater. Man, you got to feel good.
I do, man. I do. I'm gonna leave the second place trophy out there. No, man. No, it's great, man. We had an outstanding season, and I'm just so blessed to be surrounded with such great people. And when your vision is in line top down from the chancellor to the athletic director, throughout the athletic department, it makes it a lot easier. I've been some places where administration and staff, kind of didn't see eye to eye on things, and but they've given me everything that I needed to be successful here. Better not say that too loud. I might need one or two more things, but I'm just blessed, man. I'm blessed to be able to come back home and for us to have an outstanding season.
Well, this show is about great coaches like yourself, black coaches. Because we live in a box. It's unfortunate that our careers have ceilings on it, and hopefully we can keep on cracking those. This show gonna be about Trei Oliver. Where you from, Coach?
I'm originally from Yorktown, Virginia. It's really the Hampton Roads area, Hampton and Newport News, all that combined. So, as known as a 757, Tidewater.
Okay. Now, did you play basketball, football, baseball? What type of athlete were you?
I grew up in the 90s. We played everything. Whatever it is, if you had a ball, it didn't matter. But yeah, I did. I was a 3-sport athlete. I played basketball, football, and ran track in high school, and grew up with the same street as Terry Kirby that played for the Dolphins, and Chris Slade is my god brother, played for a Super Bowl champion from the New England Patriots. So when we went outside to play, man, it was a little different. You had to bring your A game because it was a whole lot of talented dudes out there.
Yes, sir. Now, Coach, with your size, and all this big thing about 5-star athlete, 4-star. I don't think when we were coming up, you was a blue chipper or you wasn't a blue chipper.
Right.
So
I was not a blue chipper.
Oh, was you a 5'4"? What you give yourself? 5'4", 3?
Man, I don't know. I don't
Cause
know how
coach,
they
you
would have
got some
judged that
nice
back then.
size though.
Yeah, I was I was pretty good sized DB, but it was crazy. The secondary I played on here, I wasn't the biggest one. We had a couple other safeties that were bigger than me, and I played under Coach Little, and I guess him being an NFL guy, he wanted some bigger DBs, but it was physical game. It wasn't a whole lot of spread offense and stuff. So we were fitting in the box. We had to have safeties that were gonna come downhill and tackle.
Right. Well, the game back then wasn't so spread out and so finesse now.
Right.
Well, what made you make your decision to go to North Carolina Central?
Well, my parents went to Central, and all I used to hear them talk about Central, and I was like, man, I'm not going there. I'm gonna go anywhere else and have my own legacy and do my own thing. But I came to a homecoming with them one year, I think my junior year in high school, and it was just a different feel, man. It was unbelievable. I absolutely loved it. And then I came back for an official visit when Coach Little recruited me, and Sam Washington, that was at just finished at North Carolina A&T. So they brought me on a recruiting visit, and Coach Little being a Hall of Famer and just showing me so much love. And that's the one thing about Central, and not just Central, a lot of HBCUs, man. You just feel the love and just a family atmosphere. So the rest was history, man. I signed with Central and had an opportunity to start 4 years at punter and safety.
It's still a big old thing now. We recruiting 5-star. We so-called just now started recruiting 5-star athletes. And what was the other schools was you were competing against? Was it other schools you was considering?
I was competing against the SAT.
Oh, okay.
So I was like losing to the SAT, man. I struggled with that test. I struggled. So I lost a lot of opportunities, and I was a late qualifier. I had some Division I sniffing, but I was a late qualifier, so it was mostly black college schools. So Hampton, Virginia State, and those folks. But I made my decision. And, I think it's probably the best decision for me, man. It helped me grow up as a man, and the folks really poured into me, and then gave me an opportunity. And a lot of schools don't. Did you see, especially PWIs and these Group of 5 schools? You can play for them, but you can't come back and coach for them.
Right.
So it's a blessing for my school, not to only give me a degree, but to give me an opportunity to come back and lead the program.
Right. And speaking of those opportunities, now they're getting so far between the now black college guys who grind and go through the course of being a coach and all that kind of stuff. Or now our opportunities are being cut because now the big thing is about pro athletes, or you got to have some PWI on your resume to get these jobs. Coach, what you tell a young guy now today?
Well, I spoke at the AFC Coaches Convention, and I tell you, if I had to do it all over again, I probably would have got an agent sooner. And back then I was thinking, well, an agent, he's going, if I get a job with Coach Cole, shoot, that's me and him relationship. That's not the agent doing that. And I don't want to pay him, for a relationship I already have.
Right.
But one thing I do know that will help grow your circle, and it'll put you, around some folks that you really don't know, and so on and so forth. So, currently I'm with a Division I. My agent is representing a Division I coach, and I got offered a couple of positions since being with him. Obviously, I told him, man, I just got the job here, and I'm not going anywhere. But I would have probably done that a little bit sooner. Got an agent, but it is disheartening sometimes, man. You see folks that I know people that are more qualified for the position that don't get opportunities, but you can't complain about it. You just got to keep working hard, and if you do well where you are, people will notice you.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in the era of that. You work hard, you have success, and people go by your resume. They don't do that anymore now.
No.
Today, it's everything is done behind the doors, and it's almost coming to, first thing they do is tell you to fill the application out online. But and I know if you ain't talking to somebody that's making choices or in that room, hey, they really telling you you ain't getting this job.
Right. And the big things, sometimes you got to wonder what these folks are looking for. And you look at their program and where they are, and what you might think that they need to be successful, and they go hire somebody, and it's like, I don't know how that's going to fit, or the issues that they're having, are they going to be able to pull them through those obstacles?
Right.
But you've seen a lot of these guys, and I think they're trying to make these splash hires, and guys have little experience, outstanding football players, but little coaching experience, and now it's time to lead a program. And I could not imagine, without my coaching experience that I've had 20 some years, being thrown into the fire as a head coach. I don't know how that would have looked.
Right. Now you saying it, and hopefully some athletic directors and presidents are listening to us talk about it. And I've been talking about it because not only are they not hiring black coaches from black schools, they're not even hiring presidents necessarily, nor ADs. You know what I mean? So to me, there's a group. Everybody can't be in the Power Five. Everybody can't be Nebraska, Alabama, Clemson. That's why they need HBCU schools to give people like us that look like us opportunities. And when they take them away, I'll give you a stat, Trey. 90 to 95% of the athletic directors in all the college footballs are white. So it's not necessarily a race problem, which it is. Everybody know that. It's just sometimes it's just not aired enough, and we need to also get people of color in those type of positions.
Definitely. And you start in the NFL. They talk about the Rooney Rule and trying to get more black coaches in there. Let's get some black GMs in there. Let's get some black owners. Once we work get to the top, now it's gonna be easier for us to hire black head coaches and black coordinators. But we're so caught up in the black head coach thing that we forget about the GMs and all those folks. You get so caught up with the black head coach in college. Let's talk about the athletic directors. Let's talk about the presidents, whether they be of color or from an HBCU.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I try to keep my focus on college. My thing is, how am I going to give you the keys to the car? They not going to give you the keys to the car unless you be a coordinator. At least you got to be a coordinator. But now, the bad part about it, black colleges, you ain't got to be nothing. You just got to have a name, and then here's the keys to our car. And that was the thing with the big Deion Sanders deal with me, is if there's no Jackson State, there's no head football coach Deion Sanders at the end of the day. And did he do a great job? He did a great job. But Jackson State gave him the platform to do that job. Now Jackson State, you gotta let him go. You gotta let him go and hope that he does well there to say you can't coach at a black school and get a Power 5 white job and do the same thing.
Right. And I think Coach Sanders did an outstanding job. Very successful. We got recruits in there, huge buzz, heck of a following. But some people that just started following HBC football. I've been in the SWAC. I coached in SWAC for I think 8 years. Jackson State has always had a great turnout in their stadium, man. Always. From when Comagese was there, Coach Hughes, so on and so forth. That's Jackson. They gonna travel. If you put a football down, them Jackson fans are gonna be there. And they've got some of the best facilities in Black College. So that's a great program. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking anything away from Coach. He did an outstanding job, and but it's something. It is something.
Well, like I told you when we was off the show, now you on one of the great shows with all the great coaches that came. Coach, your team. You took over and you built your team, and you gave me the philosophy of your team. Is that something that you learned from your coaches before, or when we talk about recruiting, do you focus on 5-star? Kind of give us not all your ingredients, but some of it, because you built this team.
Yeah, and I learned so much from so many people, and I can't be Rod Broadway. I'm not trying to be. I can't be Sam Washington or Dawson Odoms. I got to be Trey Oliver, and but I did take a little bit from all those guys, and had to put my own spin on it. And when I first got here, I didn't cut any players when I first got here. I said, all you guys are my guys. As long as you're gonna do what I asked you to do and give your all to the program. When I got here, I didn't like what I saw. The culture was terrible. You had a lot of cliques. I didn't think guys really cared about each other. A lot of selfish players. You know, you see the receivers hanging together, DBs hanging together, and we did not know how to compete without fighting. You know, guys get in practice and want to compete, but then every practice we got fights jumping off. So I had to. We're not gonna do this, guys. We're gonna compete, but we're not fighting in practice. Bottom line.
Right.
So you see it on my hat, I believe somewhere. There's a motto right here when I took it over.
Oh, there you go. Culture over scheme.
Yeah. So we had to change the culture, and it was we had to change the culture around here. And I told my coaches it's not about the X's and O's or inside zone, outside zone, or whatever the case may be. We've got to get these guys loving each other, doing the right thing, giving effort. And it's so much of it being a coach, it's so much of the little things, and we wear white socks at practice. So it's just little things like that. I tell you when it carried over body language. I don't like bad body language. We run sprints, you're gonna stand tall, we're not gonna be bent all over. We don't take a knee on the field. And if something good happens, we're gonna continue to play. If something bad happens, keep playing. And I tell you, I saw the game. They throw the fade ball to Travis Hunter, and they score, tie the game up, last play of the game. And I turn around and look, and I didn't see anybody on the sidelines panic. I didn't see anybody throwing helmets, guys arguing, cussing, and fussing. So it's going to overtime. They knew we got to keep playing. But that's pretty much it, man. I got a little bit from everybody, and it was all about the culture. That's what it's about.
Yeah, well, all right. I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Uh-oh.
Now, you're coaching in the MEAC, and you're a MEAC guy.
Right.
Coached in the SWAC. And I get this question all the time.
Hold on a second. I'm a SWAC guy too now.
Yeah, I see you're a SWAC. You're a SWAC.
There we go.
You're a MEAC.
I'm Black College, baby.
All right, I'm gonna give you your SWAC pen. Is there a difference in the conferences? And I'll tell you my difference is I think offensively we're a little more stronger than the MEAC, and MEAC is always great on defense.
Yes, I think that the SWAC has a little bit better skill play. I think their skill players are a little bit better as far as defensive backs and receivers. I think the O-line, D-line play up front is a little bit better in the MEAC, which in turns I think that we have a tendency to play a little bit more physical brand of football up here in this conference. And then, you got some old school guys here like the Buddy Pughs of the world. Rod Milstead was at Delaware State. He's an O-line guy. Rod Broadway was old school guy here. So, we were really going to run the football. And that's what it is. We're just going to pound the rock. And, we'll obviously throw the ball here and there. But the SWAC has traditionally been, and I'm going to blame Doug Williams for this, and the late, great Aaron McNair for slinging it around the yard, because they sling it down there in the SWAC now.
Now I got to mention my partner, Willie Totten now.
Oh, satellite.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many of them down there, man.
Yeah.
There's so many great quarterbacks that come out of there. Of course, Willie Totten is one. I'd be here forever trying to name all them guys.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering. I know I get that question all the time. But in the past, you guys have owned us in this championship game.
Yeah, and I think it starts with running the football. And if you look at like Jackson, very explosive offense, very, 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 very good defense. But our whole game plan was, we had to limit their possessions and try to keep Shador on the sidelines and that explosive offense. So we were able to run the ball, manage the clock, manage the game. And our philosophy is every possession has to end with a kick, whether it's an extra point, a field goal, or a punt. It's okay to get 2 first downs and punt the ball. Right. But we got to take care of the ball. We can't give them a short field. And if you saw throughout the season, man, Jackson State was turning people over like none other. They were creating so many turnovers, short fields. And, with explosive offense like that, they're going to put up points. Yeah. But, that was kind of our game plan, was just to be able to run the football. And, we rushed for 270 or something like that on them.
Yeah. When you came out of and your team came out, I kept my eyes on you because I like to look at the coaching. kind of let me know. And like I told you, and I tell you 1,000 times, the calmness that was over you, and when things happen, you kept your head, and that's why I said, man, it's something about him that is confidence. And your kids came out. I mean, you open up. They open up. Nobody talked about y'all. Everything was about Dion, Colorado, Shakur, and Jackson State's defense, and how they was great win this. They already had the trophy on their side. But like I said, you guys did a great job of preparing your kids.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and that was a testament to our coaching staff. Our staff did an outstanding job of preparing these guys, and it just felt and there was a lot of disrespect. I didn't think people really respected us and the body of work that our guys have done and how well we have played this year. And obviously Jackson was a great team. I mean, outstanding team that had a great season, but at the same time, we made it to the championship for a reason now. We're a good football team. And it was just so much stuff going up to the game, leading up to the game that
hey, this is his sport. I know me and you talked about it, but hey, I look, let folks know, because your kids did a great job. Your staff did a great job of keeping them all focused. Because I know you didn't see. I don't think did you ever get to see Coach Sanders until the game?
I did not, and that was another thing. I'm a growing up, I'm a DB, so I was a Deion Sanders primetime fan. My first expensive pair of shoes were not Jordans, they were Deion's. So I was excited about the matchup and have an opportunity to hopefully, talk to him and chop it up and be able to meet the legend. Unfortunately, he didn't come to the press conference. When we had the dinner at the College Football Hall of Fame, both head coaches supposed to be on stage. He didn't come up on stage for that. He sent another coach. Before the game, coaches usually chop it up at the 50 and just meet each other, and it wasn't none of that. Yeah. It wasn't any of that. So he didn't have, I guess.
See, and that was the thing, Trey, that Coach Robinson was pissed off about at Alabama State. And everybody just seen the end part of the game. And like Coach Robinson was like, I mean, we got football etiquette. As a coach, as a head coach, you always got to lead your kids. And people jumped on Deion's side, but they never understood that Eddie got kids too, and he's got to stand up for him. I know my dad would never let nobody came in our house and start going to the refrigerator and everything. Man, I used to hear my father pull up, and we used to get up and have to put our belts on because it's about respect. And Deion was at Alabama State, never met Eddie at the middle of the field. And then at the end of the game, he was still trying to throw bombs to score with 20 and 30 seconds left. So so when you started telling me that, I know how you felt.
Yeah, Coach, that's the thing. Like, regardless of how bad we want to beat each other, it's a level of respect that we're gonna pay each other. And I'm old school, so traditionally, regardless, you're gonna put all that stuff aside, personal feelings and all that. You're gonna shake the man's hand before the game. You don't have to have a little long, drawn out conversation, all that. But good luck today, Coach. And then of course after the game. But and I understand where and I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got a dog in that fight. But I can understand where Coach Robinson felt some type of way about it. And the whole, the antics of walking across the 50. Everybody in America knows you don't do that, especially in black college.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We don't do that. And you about to put your kids and staff in a situation where something could jump off. And the worst thing you want to see is kids out here fighting because it's about respect, And I told my guys, we're not going to be out here fighting and everything else, but we're not going to get punked, bottom line. So if they come across that 50, we're going to handle it. We're not going to fight. I don't know what to tell y'all, but we're not going to get punked today.
Yeah. Well, Coach, one thing I wanted to talk about too when I talk to black head coaches and successful black men or yourself, and one that loves his university like I love mine. I think that's the problem. It ain't them, it's us. And if we don't like each other and if we don't respect each other, the thing that killed me, especially at my university, is we always got to go outside and get somebody else. Dion done a great job for us. He stood good for HBCUs. But if it wasn't for HBCUs, You know what I mean?
Amen.
You got to put the horse before the buggy. You know what I mean? Let's always keep and feed the horse and make sure we dangle the carrot in front of him. And you know, and then just like being at the 50-yard line, you know, it's about networking. And we don't do a great job of that. You know, I started in the 80s, Trey, and they used to put up the 20 best football coaches and all that kind of stuff. And none of them never was black college coaches. No matter how much Eddie won, W.C. Gordon, Marino Castle, you know, they never put a Archie Gunstein, Clint Cooley. I could name a bunch of them. We got to be better at networking and quit getting personal with each other.
Right.
It's about the job. Did he show up at the job? Did he do a good job? You know?
Right. And, you know, that's why I'm so humble and honored to be back, because my school did bring me back. And
that's rare.
You know, when you see, and, you know, you hear people say stuff like, you know, Coach Sanders talking about what he was going to do for black college. And it wasn't just Jackson State. He was going to, you know, work to uplift everybody. You know, I didn't need any handouts and I didn't want anything from Coach Sanders or, you know, whatever. The only thing, I just want a little bit of respect. Let me shake your hand, meet you, say, you know, what's up, bro, and all that stuff, and let's move on. But I don't know what he did for North Carolina Central, and definitely didn't do anything for Trei Oliver. But and I do want to, let me clarify something too, because I made a statement and I didn't want to get taken out of context. I made a statement and we were talking about attendance during the Celebration Bowl, and I was talking about me being more progressive. Okay. And what I meant by I was trying to articulate was when the schools in Baltimore and DC and Tidewater and here in Durham, is so much other stuff going around in the city on any Saturday afternoon. You know, a lot of times down south, it's a little more rural, not as much stuff going on. So like anytime it's a football game at Grambling, everybody's going to show up at Grambling. You know what I'm saying? Itabena and Montgomery and places like that. So I think kind of got taken out of context a little bit, but that's all I was alluding to. It's really more so about attendance.
Right. No, ain't no question. In Jackson, there's no other professional football team, you know, in Grambling and Eddie Robinson. But Eddie used to put his team on the road because nobody really came down to Grambling, you know. So, you know, to get that straight. But we've always had great attendance.
Always.
In the SWAC, you know, and that's one big thing about the SWAC conference, you know, the band, fanfare, and we don't have a lot of other things going on, you know, in those cities, like in Normal, where Alcorn at, Itabena, where Mississippi Valley at, you know what I'm saying? Prairie View A&M, which sits outside of Houston. So now you got to leave, you know, pro team, basketball, clubs to go see Prairie View play. But at the end of the day, everybody loves a winner, Trey. And they're gonna come out and watch y'all play. So what's next for Trei Oliver?
We're gonna try to get better, man. We're gonna try to turn this thing up a notch. We had a great recruiting weekend this past weekend. We're gonna try to get a little bit better next year and try to make another run of this thing. But professionally, like I said, I'm just gonna try to do the best job I can right now where I'm at, and let the chips fall where they may. But I've never ever done anything for money. I never had money, so I ain't gonna start making decisions about money now. But for me, it's about being happy. And my wife's from here, from Durham, and you know I'm 3 hours away from my family in Virginia. So I'm happy where I'm at. The administration is we on the same page. We're aligned, and we good, man. I'm loving life right now.
Yeah. Well, how is recruiting coming for you?
It's changed. It's changed.
Are you in that? Are you in that?
Coaches won't answer my phone. 2 months ago, a lot of these coaches won't return the phone calls. Now they hitting you right back. Coach, what's up? I got a kid for you.
Yeah.
But emails haven't stopped. Phone hasn't stopped ringing. A lot of people, you know, saw what we did and see where the program is headed, and want to be a part. But we have a talented class about to come in here. I don't know about all those stars and everything. For me, it's about fit. For me, it's about fit. Can he play? Is he a good person? I told the kid and his family, I said, y'all come on these visits and y'all are looking at us and trying to evaluate us. I said, shoot, we're doing the same thing with you. You know, you might be able to play, but if you don't, if you don't open the door for your mom or you being disrespectful to your parents,
Right.
you're definitely not going to respect me and my staff. So
Right.
it's all about good people, man. And I can't say it enough. People make you powerful, and you win with good people in your program, from staff all the way down to your players.
Ain't no question with that. So, like I told you before, that the school I had a relationship. I was interviewed at North Carolina Central. They still have the women's law school, or now it's just the law school?
Oh, it's the law school. I mean, it's
Okay.
obviously men and women, but it's one of the, if not the top ranked law school for African Americans in the country.
Yeah.
Our governor, Roy Cooper, went there. It's outstanding, man. It's first class.
Yeah. Now, are all your coaches still intact, or have some of them left to go other places yet, or are you anticipating that?
No,
Because
see, I,
usually everybody
like I
want to
said,
come
I
get
called
wins.
all the plays on offense and defense this year. So none of my coaches need to get any credit, guys. If you're an AD or somebody out here watching this, my coaches didn't do anything this year. I did it all. No,
Hey,
I'm serious. I'm joking, man. I'm joking. I got some great ones, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Both of my coordinators outstanding and position coaches. And I tell my guys, I don't have any problem with them looking for other jobs. If it's a better situation out there, I don't try to hold them or anything like that. I'll try to help them move on up. Just keep me in the loop. Let me know what's going on,
Yeah.
what your goals are. And, I love for my guys. I only have one guy on my staff that was here from the original staff in 2019, and that's my strength
Wow.
coach.
Wow.
So
That,
two O-line
that's
coach, one's assistant O-line coach for Pittsburgh Steelers, and then my other O-line coach, Lonnie Teasley, is the O-line coach for South Carolina Gamecocks.
wow.
So I'm on my third O-line coach, new coordinators, and the whole nine. But as long as your culture is straight, man, you got a chance.
Wow. Wow. So, how was did you lose a lot in your senior class?
No, sir. We coming back.
Yeah. Wow.
Quarterback's coming back, player of the year, defensive player of the year. Khalil Baker's coming back. I think we lost about 8 seniors that had significant playing time. So,
well, this day and time, you gotta ask you, did any of your players, are you losing any of your players to an NIL?
I did. My starting left tackle came in here. He didn't have one Division I offer. I think he only had about 2-3 offers, altogether. We recruited him, brought him in here, developed him.
Wow.
He was the number 1 rated top offensive lineman at FCS, and I just lost him to the University of Maryland.
Is that where you end up at? Is that where you end up at?
I think he got about $70,000. So,
wow.
It ain't enough car washes and fish dinners that I can sell to raise $70,000 for him.
Yeah. Oh man, we got to do better at that. Now when you guys gonna start spring ball?
We'll start spring ball the middle of March. Next week we'll get started with our conditioning, and we'll start by mat drills after signing day.
Mm-hmm.
Get the guys in shape, and then I think March 15th roughly is when we get started with spring ball, and our spring game will be April 15th.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna switch your mind to the administration now with this MEAC conference.
Okay. You're above my pay grade now, man.
Well, that's okay. I just get your thoughts. I'm gonna give you mine, and then what you say. I think that when they left the MEAC and went to the Southland Conference or South Conference or wherever they went,
Big South,
Big South. FCS, Black college football has been in the top 2 or 3 in attendance. MEAC, SWAC, it don't matter. We've been up there. And now all of a sudden, we got to leave the MEAC and go split the MEAC up. And to me, all they want they want your band and they want your attendance.
Exactly.
They don't want this is a black school. And I just didn't see that being productive. I don't see how, and you maybe know a little bit more than I do, because I've talked with Jacqueline, the MEAC commissioner, and that really bothered me. Just my opinion, about them splitting that MEAC conference up.
Right. It's unfortunately, I think Hampton and North Carolina A&T were the first to go.
Mm-hmm.
You could kind of see it with Hampton University if you know their administration, their president, Dr. Harvey. He had kind of been leaning to that route for that direction for a while. Then you look at Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman. They said that it was going to be best for travel purposes with their budget, but I mean, I don't know. There's still a long ways, to Grambling and Southern and all these
Shoot,
other
Texas,
folks. So
Texas.
we're not even going to mention Texas, but
Yeah.
I don't know if they map is a little different than my map, but I don't know. And then the one that really got me was North Carolina A&T. I do not understand that one for the world. You were nobody was checking for you. You were 0-20 something when we got there in about 2013, whenever Broadway got there and took that job over.
Mhm.
So it then to bring A&T up to where they were and be a national powerhouse,
Right.
and now you jump ship. And
Yeah.
I know the alumni, they're not happy about it. You go to their games now and it's 8,000 people there. Before they were selling it out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it does kind of water down the conference a little bit. I think that you take a great brand of football, you take a passionate fan base, great bands, and like you're saying, all that other stuff, and you try to make that conference stronger. And then we're losing some of our best schools.
Right.
Why not stay here and let's make everybody stronger and make this a better conference.
Right.
And I mean, then you have the things like the Celebration Bowl and all this other stuff that we have. Why would you leave that?
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get
Well,
it. Like I said, it's above my pay grade.
And I get it about the money part, but we could do the money part with us, and that's why I talked to you earlier about us getting together, our commissioners getting together, because there's no way that we can't put the Orange City Blossom Classic, the Magic City Classic, the Eagle Classic together and put a TV package and get us $100 million, from one of these big shows. Then now all the black schools can get a piece of that money instead of running over there and getting that little money. Because here's the thing, and when you play those PWI schools and they come to you, don't nobody be at the game.
Nobody.
And then everybody, the few that come to see the band, they leave. But now, when you go to their school, it's packed house because it's a concert to them. Because they can't wait to see the band and the pageantry of going around a black college football team. We are the show.
Right. That's like when we went to go play Campbell. Campbell, they don't have anybody coming to see them. And then, we come there and it's a packed, it is packed. But I don't get it, man. I think I guess their water's a little bit wetter than our water. I don't know, man. But I'm an HBCU guy. I'm about our brand and doing whatever we can to make it stronger. Like you saying, we can find us a TV deal and some type of package to possibly link in all the classics. I don't know if that's possible. Like you said, Magic City, Circle City. Obviously the Bayou Classics probably stands on its own a little bit. But we got a great brand, man, and we just need to continue to push it. But I hope and pray that the MEAC and our commissioner, they can keep this thing together, man, and bring one or two more teams in here.
Well, this is what's happening. Give me your opinion on this. Now that I'm in the media, they're looking, HBCU Go.TV is looking to try to take the best 8 teams, black college, Division I, Division II, 1AA, Division FCS, and get the top 8 black teams and play towards what they would call a real national championship, because I guess the Division II schools are barking about it.
I feel they played though, because when I was here in 2016, we Division II, we went down and we beat Southern at Southern, and we went 11-0, and we won the Black College House Championship as a Division II team. Right. So I feel their plight. The D2s, the Fort Valley States, and the Benedicts. Right. They got something to say about it. I hear you, but go ahead.
Yeah. So that's what they're thinking about. I just wanted your opinion on that. Of course, the biggest difference is scholarships. But the thing about it, you only can play 22 at one time.
You're right, but I'm saying if it is a difference in scholarships, it is. But if they want to get into the Division IIs, want to get in this conversation about being a national champion, we got to play. Yeah. I mean, you can't complain. You can't say you want to stomp with the big dogs and then at the same time, oh, well, y'all got more scholarships.
Yeah.
So either add scholarships and come up to Division I, or find your best 11 and let's rock.
Yeah. Well, that's what they looking to do, to try to put together a TV package for that as well.
If
So,
they could, they just got to be, careful with the number of games, because
right.
you're already playing 12 games, and then if you have to play another 3 more, like the playoffs, that can kind of wear on the guys a little bit. So,
Right.
but I think it's a good idea. They need to look at, explore different options.
So I guess they'll take the top 8 teams, not necessarily 4, out of the division, the MEAC and the SWAC, and 4 out of the SIC, CIAA,
Right.
because you can't go that deep.
No. Just top 8. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be the top 8, and usually it's probably going to be at least 6, 5, 6 every year from the FCS or
Right.
from the SWAC or the MEAC. They're playing it. I guess the other thing is determine, what do you call them? Do you call them bowl games? Do you call them classics? And like you say, they play 10 games, we play 11. So that's going to be a big difference. But
Yeah, and then I think that I've seen a lot of those D2 schools play, the Fayetteville States and Virginia Union and Benedict, and they have some very talented teams. The only thing I would be concerned with about them is they could bang with the FCS with us, for a game, but for you to have to be able to play 2 games or 3 games to win it, attrition is going to catch up with you. The numbers are really going to catch up with you that second game or that third game. I would think with the difference with Division II and FCS, but they go head to head one game. It's going to be a ball game.
right.
But you lose 1 or 2 guys. You lose 1 or 2 players. It's rough.
Now you said something there, because when I was at Alabama State, we used to play Tuskegee at the end of the year, during Tuskegee's good years at the end of the year. And we were all beat up. And, they come in there fresh because, we playing Grambling and, Southern, and every year Jackson State, Alabama A&M. Every week, how it is
Right.
in the MEAC. And then you get a good Division II team, and like you just said, one game, they're going to be in there with you.
They are.
And by the time we walked in the game, and we lost to them 3 years in a row. By the time we got there, we were so beat up, and we ended up going to the SWAC championship and winning the division twice. But we were so beat up at the end of the year that that one game they played well.
But the problem is, after they play you all, now they got to go play Grambling. You know what I mean? Now you got to go play Alcorn.
Yeah.
Then you got to come play North Carolina Central. So they can win one game, but I don't know if they're built numbers wise to be able to be in a playoff format.
Yeah. Well, this was a heck of a year, and me and Doug was talking. That's why I think what you've done was so special.
That's how you know you've evolved. You a bad boy when you go by first name. When you say Doug and everybody knows who you talking about, you a bad boy, man.
Hey,
Doug Williams, the GOAT, right?
Yeah, the GOAT, coach. Hey, that's the only. I'm from Ohio, and the only black college football was Central State. Up there, up in Ohio. But Doug Williams, man, when you seen Doug Williams wearing number 12, coach, I got to go play in there. And that's how I made my decision to go to school.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What were you say? You say you talked to Doug and what now?
Well, me and Doug, we talked about of course, who's SWAC, and we couldn't give Deion SWAC. He just ain't rode on them buses long enough. You know what I mean? And so that's what the thing that we were talking about. But this is why I think you've done such a great job. Deion Sanders ran through the SWAC 2 years in a row. Ain't no way that was happening when we were in there coaching. Ain't no way. When Broadway and Doug and me and LC and it was something about our coaches that every game they came in without a game plan. They didn't switch it up. They didn't tweak it. They having them 1-back runs and not 2-back runs because they were crowding the ball. You guys did an excellent job of preparing and knowing what you coaching. Y'all out coached him, coach.
I saw so much of like what I would not do. When I'm watching these people play them, a lot of folks, just because you see bump and run on the outside, you say, okay, I want to check fade ball. They've got two great corners. And everybody talk about Travis Hunter. That other boy, number 4, I think they call him Nugget. To me, he's better than Travis Hunter. And not to take anything away from Travis, but Travis is young. He's just talented as all get out.
Yeah.
That other kid at 4 is a dude. And you see people just throwing the fade ball and they're wasting downs. So now it's, now it's 2nd and 10. You throw another fade ball, it's 3rd and 10. Now Jackson gonna pin their ears back and they send in 6. Right. So just because they're gonna pressure you, just because they're gonna load the box, does not mean you cannot run the football.
Right.
And then you see some people going out there and going empty, 5 wide. I'm like, yo, you not know these people about to blitz you.
Right.
And then here comes 45, Aubrey Miller knocking the quarterback out. Yeah. And quarterback fumbles the ball. So it's like, come on, man. We've got to be able to run the football. And I don't care if they stack the box. And a lot of times when you pressure people, if that ball hits through there, you don't have another level to the defense if those linebackers are blitzing. Right. So you just have to be patient. And what I thought Jackson did a great job of is their D-line. They do a great job of straining. And the hole will be open for a minute, and then it'll close right back up because one of those D-line will fight off a block and make the play. So we really challenge our O-line guys. It's like about that 2nd and 3rd effort. You got to strain and stay on your block. And, we have some good backs, and our backs were able to get to that 2nd level. And then, lastly, the quarterback runs. We didn't run a quarterback a lot throughout the season because he was so valuable. But we knew if we could run the quarterback, with them playing all that man-to-man, they were going to be short one. They were going to be short a number. So, we ran the quarterback quite a bit, and he had a lot of success. And then, we hit a couple passes over the top. But you're right. My coaches, man, they did an outstanding job. I try to stay out of their way. Coach Cord, our defensive coordinator, we kind of played somewhat vanilla and didn't pressure a lot to try to keep the ball in front of us. And to try to limit the big plays as much as we could, but we knew they were talented. And then offensively, just run the football, man. Take care of the ball, and let's be solid and win the kicking game. And I thought we did that, and the guys executed.
Wow. There you go. You heard it from the coach, Trei Oliver, North Carolina Central coach. Man, I want to appreciate and thank you for all what you've done, man, and we got to keep in touch, Coach. I'm gonna be doing some moving around, so hopefully I can help you out. I ain't ready to make my big announcement, on what I'm doing, but
I'm ready for it. I'm ready to hear it.
It's a big one, Coach. It's a big one, But I gotta keep mine quiet because I got folks following me around, that don't mean well.
I understand that, man.
But it's all good, man. And you got a beautiful family. You didn't tell, you told me all about your son. He's doing well.
Yeah, man. My son's Reggie's here in Durham, and he's doing well. My wife Yvette is keeps me busy, and I got a 3-year-old grandbaby, little Miss Nova.
Okay.
And Nova is off the chain. Got my house when she comes to visit. It looks like a little daycare, but no, family as well, man. I get a chance, hopefully, after signing day to be able to spend a little bit more time with them. But everybody's well up here in Durham, man.
Yeah. Well, I know it's a beautiful school up there, man. And I just can't say enough about. I can imagine the feeling you feel, taking your alma mater when you come from the helmet to the hat, and taking them not to a MEAC championship, but the national championship. We'll never forget that. And to be the giant, let's Deion was a giant, and but like you said, you contribute that to your coaches and players. Any last words, Coach?
Yeah, I'm just it's a buzz in here in Durham, man. The folks, the cafeteria catered a meal for the guys, man. They got prime rib and lobster.
Wow.
It's crazy, man. These folks trying to do so much. The mayor's coming by. They're having a parade next weekend. We got to go to the governor's mansion.
Wow.
They rolling out the red carpet for us, man. So I think we'll have to try to do this again next year. But I appreciate what you do, man.
Thank you.
You and so many other media, man, do a great job of covering, Black college sports. And sometimes you got to put a positive spin on things because so on the outside looking in, it doesn't look like it's all, as great as it is. But Black college has been strong for hundreds of years. And we're going to keep this thing rolling, man. So we're going to continue to support each other and get better, man.
Yeah, man, again, appreciate your time and effort. I know that you got a lot of things going on, man, and you're feeding the hungry today, man. What can you say, man? You're a champion on and off the field. Thank you, and we'll be in touch.
Thanks, Coach. Take care, man.
Yes. All right, that was Trei Oliver of North Carolina Central, and one of the best coaches around, and it's unfortunate that he has a ceiling over his head, and hopefully, he get an opportunity to move up and show the people really what kind of coach he is, because when you don't hire black coaches and we don't move up to make the money, it's an economical issue as well. And it hurts the black family as well as it hurts the black community. And that's why it's important. It's bigger than just coaching a football game. It's about life. It's about life, a better life for people of color. But, it's always a great time for me to come and talk with you guys. And I just want to continue to thank you for listening. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe to The Lunch Break. I can't say enough about AJ Jones, my producer, on getting me off the couch. Like I said earlier, I got a big announcement coming, maybe in a couple weeks. I'm doing some different things with my life, but I'll continue to have my show. I don't know if we're going to move it days or move it back, but I'd just like to thank you and continue to follow me, and I'll continue to follow you. And as I always say, if you feel yourself at the end of your rope, tie a knot and hold on tight, because ain't nobody bad like you.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Monday. Yep, we're back at it. January 16th, 2023. Sing, sing, celebrate. Happy King Day, everyone. Number 1, it was almost 40 years ago, on November 20th, 1983, that then-President Ronald Reagan signed the bill making the January 15th birthday of civil rights leader, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a national holiday. Sunday, Mr. Biden was the first sitting president to attend and speak before the congregation of Ebenezer Baptist Church on the Sunday before the national holiday. At the invitation of the recently elected Democratic Senator, Reverend Raphael Warnock, President Biden spoke before his Atlanta home church of Reverend Warnock and his predecessor, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Number 2, the town where thousands have journeyed and honored its place in civil rights history stands as a shadow of itself today in the wake of last week's destructive tornadoes. The storm brought powerful twisters and winds to Alabama and Georgia that uprooted trees, sent mobile homes airborne, derailed a freight train, flipped cars, and cracked utility poles. Suspected tornado damage was reported in at least 14 counties in Alabama and 14 counties in Georgia. Number 3, the New York State Department of Health is exploring its options after a state Supreme Court judge struck down a statewide mandate requiring healthcare workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19. The judge wrote in a ruling that Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul and the health department overstepped their authority by mandating a vaccine that's not included in state public health law. The judge sided with medical professionals for informed consent, a group of medical workers affected by the vaccination mandate. Number 4, Keenan Anderson, a 31-year-old school teacher who was a cousin of Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors, died hours after LAPD officers repeatedly shocked him with a taser. The Los Angeles, California Police Department alleged police arrived at the scene of a traffic accident on January 3rd in Venice, California, and found Mr. Anderson running into the street exhibiting erratic behavior. Anderson was eventually handcuffed and shackled, taken to a hospital, and then died 4 hours later. No cause of death has been officially established. Number 5, it's Ministry Monday time. Happy MLK Day in honor of this being a holiday to celebrate a man who was all about being a servant of God and the people. Let's talk about being a servant of God. To serve or be a servant of God is not just something you casually do. As a Christian, it is a requirement, your duty, and a part of your calling. Being a servant is not an unachievable goal. Read more about it in today's Ministry Monday. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. What is good news? Those things that are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, and admirable. Share these things. Let me share this with you. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with Chris Paul and Huggy Lowdown, comedians extraordinaire, justice activists, Coy Malone, and Katrina McGee, Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer at the American Heart Association, as we discuss today's top headlines and a lot more. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.